On 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app.
O'Connor and Company.
It's 6:06. It's a Friday morning in your nation's capital. Teresa Onwuka on vacation, so I'll say it. Happy Friday, everybody. Coming up later this half hour, we're going to speak with Sarah Gabel Siefert. She's the president and co-founder of EveryLife because it's the National Celebrate Life Conference this weekend in D.C. 7:05 brings us Sean Spicer. 7:35, FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr. 8:05, Virginia Republican Chairman Rich Anderson. And then at 8:35, Jennifer Say, retired gymnast and founder and CEO of s-EYE-fert. She thinks that only women should compete in women's sports. That's weird, isn't it, Mercedes?
That's a new concept. Haven't heard about that.
Bit of an outlier there. Hey, so what did I see you and Yesli Vega doing yesterday? I said, yeah, I follow Yesli Vega religiously on social media. She's
Yesli Vega.
The great county supervisor in Prince William County. She ran for Congress last time around until Abigail Spanberger's, goons, flying monkey, evil warriors started lying about her and sliming her. What an awful,
what they do.
It is what they do. But I saw you two hanging out together. That makes me nervous.
It was wonderful. We are working together on a project, CPAC Unidos, and it is to work and reach out and bring on board Hispanic voters in these critical battleground states. And we're actually, as we know, President Trump is and his team are just saying, look, we're going to work hard in Virginia. So Virginia is going to be one of our top states.
Focusing on Hispanic communities in Virginia to sort of, Yesli, remembering having many interviews and conversations with her last time around when she ran for Congress 2 years ago, she said that inherently the Hispanic community in Virginia are at their core conservative Republicans. Sadly, too many Republican candidates ignore them.
Well, I discovered this phenomenon when we had President Nayib Bukele come speak at CPAC here in Maryland in the National Harbor, and all of a sudden I call Yesli. I was like, she's like, I have all these people that want to come. So over 100
she's of Salvadoran descent.
Remember?
That's right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they showed up with their American flags and the Salvadoran flags, and they were like, Bukele came in, got rid of the crime. It's safe now in El Salvador. Moving against communist type of tactics, in El Salvador, and it's been, they love him. So from there, I thought I was like, Larry, there's a whole group of people here that we need to be talking to. Saying, look, and CPAC is in Mexico, in Brazil. I mean, we're all over the globe, but really, Latin America has been abandoned by the Biden administration. Their only thing that they push is the LGBTQ agenda. That's all they do down there. Like, it is insane. And so
that's all
our no.
Right. That's all our State Department is doing in foreign countries right now, is trying to push their children to mutilate their genitals as well. We're going to speak with Republican Party Chairman Rich Anderson at 8:05 about, he just had a conversation with the RNC coming off of our primaries. We're going to see what kind of commitment he got, but also talk to him about making inroads into communities that might have been neglected by Republican candidates. I love telling this story. In fact, Mercedes, I do this all the time. Do you confuse me with Matt? I just called Meredith Mercedes. I think it's just because of the MER. That's all.
Not really, but sure,
yeah, that's probably good. That's probably best for both of us. Meredith was just telling this story to her parents the other day about when Bukele was addressing the CPAC audience. So I was on stage. I was interviewing Ambassador Richard Grinnell on stage. We were the opening act for President Bukele. He came on right after us. So I didn't get I was on stage. Meredith was backstage, and she heard
She got to meet him?
Well, she heard all this commotion going on.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the corridors behind at the Gaylord Hotel at National Harbor. And she heard all this like ruckus and cheers. And so she goes back there, and she saw all of the hotel workers and restaurant workers at the Gaylord had all sort of left their shifts and all came down to the tunnels, and they were like lining the halls, the corridors back there as President Bukele from El Salvador was walking to the backstage area, and they were all screaming and cheering for him.
You're right. I forgot about
Remember that? And
Meredith
it was and Meredith got like emotional seeing this happen. where these were Salvadoran nationals who were here and they're working and they're but they love what he has done to their country, and that these are people who deserve, if they're going to vote, they should vote for us.
Well, and that the key is identifying the voters, building these relationships, and then we're working with pastors in Virginia. This is like such an exciting project, CPAC Unidos, and Yesli is so inspiring and so.
I love Yesli Vega so much. I just think she has such a bright future.
Yeah, she has an incredible future ahead, and we want to definitely support her. And so we're going to take this to other states, Arizona, obviously, and Nevada, and it's an exciting project that CPAC's working on right now.
Do you have is there a place, because we have many Latino and Hispanic listeners, and if they want to get involved in that, is there a CPAC Unidos website or portal or anything?
That's coming up next. It's just at cpac.org, and
just go to CPAC, send them a message saying, si se puede, sign me up.
Yes, si se puede. Come on, let's win. How did Jill say it? Was it Jill that said si se puede?
Si se puede.
Podway.
Si se puede.
Let's have some breakfast tacos.
Oh, you breakfast
Jill
tacos out there. Well, that's the thing. That's all they have to. All Democrats do is show up and give that lip service, and it's.
Yeah, but Republicans need to do better. They do better.
They can do better.
And they have done better. And Glenn Youngkin did a good job. I mean, Yesli ran that Latinos for Youngkin campaign, but I think it's important for them to understand, because they try to demonize Trump so bad, and it's important to.
Well, it's all falling down like a house of cards. Latest polls nationally show that the majority of Hispanic voters in America trust Trump with immigration policy more than they trust Biden with immigration policy.
Fascinating.
So the whole message that Trump is anti-Hispanic or xenophobic or anything, actually the Latino community has suffered the most because of the criminals that Joe Biden has led into this country.
Yeah.
Because the crime happens in their neighborhoods. It's Latino girls who are being raped right now by these thugs who...
That is right.
Who Biden
that is right. There's an area in Arizona called literally that the drug cartels have taken over the small town in Arizona, and they have what they call the trophy, like the trophy trees, like the rape trees. They literally leave like the clothing of girls and women as they're raping them, and then they leave it as a trophy on these trees. It's disgusting. And the mere fact is that yes, they prey on these young women. Then they become part of these sex trafficking circles, rings here in the U.S. And it's disgusting.
Absolutely, it is horrible.
Disgusting.
It's evil. And here's the thing: the votes are there and they're ready. The Republicans just need to go and ask for the votes.
We're going. Yes,
we don't even go and ask for it.
Yes, and you're coming with us.
And in some cases, that's all you need to do. Well, good for you. I'm glad that you're doing that with Yesli Vega. And Prince William County is so lucky to have her. And I'm very excited that she's working.
And Larry's coming with us. You're going to.
I would love to go with you. All I have is 2 years of high school Spanish, and I have enough to get my face slapped in a bar in Tijuana.
They'll love you, Larry.
That's
You're
what
so
I know.
lovable. Give me a break.
Well, I will say that as bad as my Spanish is, it's not as bad as the First Lady.
No, you're
say it with me. Si se puede. The future is ours.
God, November cannot come fast enough. It's 6:15.
WMAL, making sense of the economy, because it's your money and your retirement. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Well, we talk about government waste. Talk about the Biden administration, taking your money and doing nothing with it. We've already told you about the $7.5 billion that are committed to electric vehicle charging stations. And so far, there are 7 stations installed. Even Pete Buttigieg couldn't stammer his way through explaining that one. Oh, yeah, we're building the infrastructure with the local facilities and utilities management people. This thing doesn't happen overnight. Well, it's funny. There are 2 major programs here that the Biden administration has secured billions and billions of taxpayer dollars for, and both of them could be done with the private sector. In fact, not even the private sector, with one guy, Elon Musk. You want electronic vehicle charging stations? You got $7.5 billion and you only got 7 of them. Elon Musk's Tesla invested a little over $1 billion, and he's got a network of charging stations coast to coast. If I wanted to drive from D.C. to L.A. in my Tesla, I could do it with charging stations all along the way without any problem. The private sector, one company, one man has already done it. And then there's this. $42.5 billion was secured by Joe Biden of your tax dollars to get new homes in rural areas connected to the internet on broadband. How many homes have been connected over the past 3 years? 0, Mercedes.
Wow.
0. But again, Elon Musk, he's got Starlink internet systems. He can hook up a family for $599 right now, and you don't have to wait 7 years for it, and it would cost you less. You could how many millions of families could be connected utilizing the Starlink system? Just give the money to Elon, and he'll do it for you.
Give the money to Elon. Agree. I mean, it just shows that there's no accountability, that the Biden administration can spend billions and billions of dollars, and yet you still have Americans that don't have the broadband plan of Joe Biden's. I mean, they're stuck. They're stuck because of all the regulations, all the red tape of the Democrats. And then on top of that, I mean, the EV charging stations, that just, it just sounds like it's going to take forever for you to get it to California. I don't know.
The Washington Times reported on this latest boondoggle, $42.5 billion on internet access, and not one home is connected yet after 3 years. Susan Ferriccio, one of the best reporters in town. We're going to speak with the chairman, one of the chairmen of the FCC, Brendan Carr. That's the agency that oversees internet access and broadband. He'll be joining us at 7:35 to talk about this. By the way, the government under Donald Trump did have a contract with Starlink and Elon Musk. Biden came in and canceled it. Why? Because they don't like Elon Musk's politics.
They don't. It's all political.
It's 100% political. So this is what Build Back Better looks like. And this is so typical Democrat politics. Joe Biden doesn't actually care about getting families signed up for broadband. He cares about being able to secure the funding for it so he can then stand on a podium and say, I signed up all of these families. In fact, they didn't do anything. He doesn't know how to do anything. All he knows how to do is spend taxpayer money on nothing. That doesn't actually accomplish a damn thing. But he'll add this to his laundry list of accomplishments during the debate next week. It's 6:21. Well, we lost a legendary actor yesterday. Donald Sutherland died at the age of 88. It was announced on social media by his son, a great actor in his own right, Kiefer Sutherland. Donald Sutherland was an iconic actor over the last 60 years. I checked his IMDb yesterday because I was trying to look through all the movies he's been in. Even when it was just a small cameo part, he made an indelible impression, like in the movie JFK or Animal House. You remember he had a bit part there, but he's very memorable in all those movies.
Very memorable.
Get this. I looked at the IMDb. Between film and television, he had 199 credits. That's amazing. And he was working right up until the end, including, of course, I mean, even in his twilight years, he was an iconic character in the Hunger Games series. And just recently appeared as Judge Parker on Lawman Bass Reeves and Swimming with the Sharks.
The Avengers.
He was in the Avengers series. He was in, well, of course, I think he got nominated for Ordinary People. I remember him in I had forgotten that he was in the Dirty Dozen. He was just such a great psychopath in that. And, of course, as great as Alan Alda was in the TV series MASH, if you see the movie MASH, I mean, Donald Sutherland is Hawkeye Pierce. He was fantastic in that.
Truly an amazing actor. And he had the best voice. Just the best voice.
Oh yeah, his voice is incredible. Oh, he did so many voiceovers. If you look at television commercials and you hear the voiceover for I think he did Jaguar or some other automobile. He did a great job. And so many actors worked with him that came out and gave their own testimony yesterday. Good for him. I will say this, and I don't want to be weird here because, when you lose your father, it's always a terrible thing. Kiefer Sutherland's message, which is very sweet and loving of his father, but the message that he put out, his statement, was all about his father as an actor.
actor. Interesting.
And nothing about his relationship with him, and nothing about what kind of dad he was. I don't know. And I said to Meredith, I said, if I pass away and all my son has to say about me is my career and what I did with my job, I feel like
Yeah, that's what your kids already told me that's what they're going to write. So just get ready for it.
Thanks a lot. Rest in peace,
They're
Donald
going to be
Sutherland.
like, Meredith was awesome, but then Dad... No kidding.
Why'd you do that to me?
Wait till the Schlapp's kids, talk about us. They're going to be like, my parents were crazy.
I can only imagine that for Kiefer Sutherland, being the son of Donald Sutherland had to have been a very challenging thing. Can you imagine having such a famous father and also then trying to follow in his career? It's you'll always be Donald Sutherland's son, when you're Kiefer Sutherland.
I'm sure your kids feel like they're going to be Larry O'Connor's children.
Are you kidding me? They've already far exceeded anything that I've ever been able to accomplish. Rest in peace, Donald Sutherland. Thank you for all of the... by the way, I know this seems weird, but one of my favorite Donald Sutherland movies, the remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. That's a great movie, and he was awesome. It's 6:30.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station.
Making sense of the news.
News Talk 105.9.
News.
On 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app.
O'Connor and Company.
It's 6:37, and this Friday is just flying by. We're in the middle of a heat wave, and we're going to try to keep you cool, calm, and collected. Coming up at 7:05, Sean Spicer will join us. At 7:35, FCC Commissioner Brandon Carr. 8:05 brings us Rich Anderson, chairman of the Republican Party of Virginia. And then at 8:35, Jennifer Say, retired gymnast, founder and CEO of XXXY Athletics. They've been banned from TikTok because they think men are men and women are women. I don't know, Mercedes. I look at you and I know that you're a woman.
Yeah, it's pretty basic. I think we get it. We understand this is not that complicated. But God forbid you speak the truth and then you get canceled.
I'm very excited about this next conversation. I know you are. It's Sarah Gabel Siefert. She's the president and co-founder of EveryLife. This is the National Celebrate Life Conference this weekend in D.C. I've met people who volunteer and work at pregnancy crisis centers. I run into them all the time. They are absolute angels, and they are actually doing the thing that we're always told pro-life conservatives don't do, which is really care for the women and the eventual babies that they have. And it's such an important blessing to have the women, and it's mostly women who give their lives to this effort. Sarah, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Well, tell me about the Celebrate Life Conference and what's in store for this weekend in D.C. if people want to participate.
Yeah, absolutely. So EveryLife is really proud to sponsor this event. We're coming up on 2 years after the overturning of Roe v. Wade, and pro-lifers are coming together in D.C. for this event so we can really talk and strategize about how we can continue to fight for life. Because while this decision was one that we were all very pleased and grateful for, it was a step in the right direction. We are not done yet. We have a lot of work to do. And I think we all realize that. And so we have speakers and we have a gala and there's a rally tomorrow by the Lincoln Memorial just to really, again, unite and to get encouraged and to get inspired and activated. So that way, when we all go back to our homes, we can make an impact in our everyday life. And I think everybody can make an impact every single day. It's just a matter of waking up to the realities of the opportunities. And I'm really excited for this weekend to really hopefully open up the eyes of a lot of people who are passionate about moms, about dads, about making our country better. So it's going to be a great weekend filled of hope and full of joy and unification.
So EveryLife, the company, it's the nation's only pro-life diaper company. Because I think people don't. This is fascinating because I've learned learning about what you and your husband have done. You all are donating diapers and wipes to crisis pregnancy centers. But it's interesting because we don't realize, like, Pampers and these other companies, diaper companies, like, they give money to Planned Parenthood. So explain, Sarah, the whole, not only the concept behind EveryLife, but also the importance of these life pregnancy centers, because we have to emphasize here that it's all, people always say, oh, it's protecting the unborn child. It is protecting the unborn child, but the mother needs that additional help.
Right.
And that's where these live pregnancy centers are so critical.
That's correct. Yeah. So EveryLife started in July of last year. So we're about 11 months old, and we're the fastest growing diaper company America has ever seen. And we are the only pro-life diaper company America has ever seen. Every other major diaper company on the market today is supporting abortion, either vocally or financially, a lot of them both. And that includes Huggies, Pampers, Hello Bello, Honest, Coterie. The list honestly goes on. And it was devastating, honestly, for me personally. At the time, I was about to be a brand new mom, and I discovered all of this research regarding these diaper companies, and I realized I could not confidently put my money towards these companies that were not supporting my own child. And we also used a platform called Public Square that my husband and I started a couple years back, and it is America's marketplace with 80,000 plus small businesses that are pro-life, pro-freedom, pro-family. And our consumers were searching for diapers, and they could not find a solution. They could not find an alternative. And so we realized that we needed to come in and create the solution, which is why EveryLife is here. We have a premium product, and we give back. We are all about our bundles. We have a Buy for a Cause program that allows people who maybe don't have babies in diapers to still purchase our products and send them directly to a pregnancy resource center that's in urgent need of those supplies.
Wow.
And then they're giving that to a mom who has embraced life for their baby. And I actually used to work in the pregnancy resource center space for a while, and I directed a center out in San Clemente, California. And I can tell you firsthand that the women that I got to meet with, hundreds that were all very vulnerable at times considering abortion, I got to see so many lives saved because of the love, the care, the support, and even just knowing that they had a box of diapers, one less burden that they had to consider and think about. It actually can be the difference between life or death for that unborn baby. And so the fact that we're not only changing diapers at EveryLife, we're truly changing, it's an incredible mission, and everybody can jump in and be a part of it.
I know it might be hard for people to believe, but the women who are contemplating abortion really, I mean, they feel so alone and so isolated, and they get so stressed out by the littlest things. And believe it or not, just the thought of having to buy diapers for a brand new baby can be one of those tipping point things that pushes them into that horrible choice. And if they know going in, it's like, okay, here's one more thing you don't have to worry about, right? And your brand ambassador is pro surfer Bethany Hamilton. She's incredible, and what a great affiliation you have. I love that. And people need to know, Pampers is owned by Procter & Gamble. Procter & Gamble, I remember, came out and got a bunch of headlines because after the Dobbs decision, they announced that they would pay for their employees to fly across state lines to kill their unborn baby. That's how committed to abortion the Pampers people are. So everylife.com, even if you don't have babies in diapers, you have two things you can do here. I know people who don't have babies. They have baby wipes. They use baby wipes around the house. We use baby wipes around the house for various things. You can buy baby wipes from EveryLife, and that helps the cause. Or you can also donate diapers. You can buy diapers. They won't go to you, but they will go to a mom who needs them. I'm so just thrilled by this business model and what you've been able to do. And I'm really great to meet you, honestly. This is a great thing you're doing, Sarah.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you having me. And I'll just add that in the short amount of time, we've been able to already donate over 1.3 million diapers, and we're really just getting started. So we hope and we pray that people will join us on this really extraordinary mission. If you go to everylife.com, you'll learn all about it. And what's great is you can get those bundles delivered right to your doorstep. So it's very, very convenient. Yeah. And we've tried to make it as easy as possible for moms and dads across the country that really do value life and value their own children to create a product that actually values them as well. So
this
we're
weekend,
really thankful to be available. Yep,
yeah, amen. CelebrateLifeConference.com is where you can get information on the Celebrate Life Conference and the March. Boy, it's going to be a hot one out there by the Lincoln Memorial. But listen, the March for Life is done on like the coldest weekend of the year in January. And so now why not do something in June and the hottest weekend of the year? You betcha. We're warriors. We'll be out there. Thank you, Sarah. Great meeting you.
Great meeting you too. Thank you.
It's our official Pride Month theme. I got to tell you, this Pride Month, what are we, 21st day of June now,
Yeah.
I feel like we've won some minor victories here because this last year was so radical, so over the top, so in your face, so outrageously everywhere. I feel like a lot of corporations have gotten the message. This month, it seems, or this year, this whole June, super gay June has been really kind of tamped down a bit. But here comes Lego. Lego, for some reason, decided to put out an Instagram video called Pride Parade. And it shows all these little Legos, all dressed in rainbow colors, doing this whole.
And the furries are there too. It's kind of crazy.
And here, you know, it's so typical of a company doing something like this because all of the people in the boardroom think that it's so clever and cute, and all the people in the advertising and marketing department thinks it's edgy and it's really with it. But here's the thing: Lego is a toy. This is for children.
Yes,
it's for kids.
Yes.
And so whenever these companies who are they specifically target children with their product, that they're, if I may say, they're grooming children to want to buy Legos and play with Legos. And so if they're grooming kids for that and then they throw gay stuff into it, why is it wrong for me to say that they're also grooming kids to be open to the idea of and sexual behaviors?
Parents don't need companies to try to push on these children or enforce on these children this kind of propaganda. And it is so negative. It is not the place of these companies. And I'll tell you, I just saw a video, which I actually tweeted about, this transgender man basically talking like to these children, with all the children, like with all these like colorful, you know, backdrop. And he's like, just close your eyes and just pretend if you're a boy or a girl, or maybe you don't know. And it is like scary stuff. And you're going, this is the type of stuff that if parents are not on top of, you know, what their children are watching. Obviously now you see this little video from Lego, which, you know, Lego's for kids. It's to help them build. It's like supposed to be a healthy, brain functioning tool for children. No, they have to sexualize it. And they have to just, of course, being obsessed with this whole Pride Month. It's
because
crazy.
They're warped. Because they're
so are they
going to
do
warped.
like Christian Pride Month, or what are they going to do? Are they going to do
God,
Jewish
no.
Pride Month?
That would be controversial.
Appeal to heaven Pride. I mean, Flag Month. Come on, serious.